Hi everyone, it's Louis Bernays here with the LRF Group with Berkshire Hathaway, and today we have a very special guest. She's one of the new agents, associates of the LRF Group. Really happy about this find because she's really an exceptional young talent agent. I think it's going to bring a lot of value to the team. She's dual licensed not only here in Florida but also in New York. Her name is Rimsh Khan, and without any further ado, let me introduce her. Rimsh, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. Thank you for a beautiful introduction.
No, listen, thank you so much for taking your busy time. I know you've been running around quite a bit and coming back from New York and Florida and trying to get settled up there in those two offices. But I wanted to have you and have our clients and customers and friends meet you because that way, they get to know a little bit about our agents, where they come from, what their passions are, and why they, came into such a difficult career like real estate. So without any wasting any time, that's I guess the question I always ask all associates is, what made you become a realtor? What is it about real estate that drove you to this career?
Um, what drove me to this career? I got to be my own boss, first of all. Second of all, I felt like maybe I was doing something bigger than myself. I don't
Hmm.
know. I felt a big sense of accomplishment. And no, every day is the same. So every day is something different. I love that.
Right, right. And tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, Coney Island
Awesome.
Hospital.
That's great.
Yeah, and my parents are from Pakistan. Um, so I was born and raised in Brooklyn. My siblings were born and raised in Brooklyn, and I'm a New Yorker through and through. I've been in Miami for almost 4 years now, but I'm in between both states. So half my time I spend over here, and then half of the time I spend in New York.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me ask you something. So, what are the two of the cities or states I mean, do you have any preference to? I mean, or maybe perhaps I shouldn't ask you that question, but is there one of the two states you like the best, or maybe in the wintertime you like Florida, and in the summer you like New York?
Something like that, but no, New York is always gonna be home, but I have the same love for Florida, and that's why I'm here.
Great, great. Well, one of the things is I think that we add value, in terms of the LRF group, is that the fact that our agents are dual licensed, which is I think it's an added feature because, Miami being, I guess, what is it called, the sixth borough of New York, right? That it's just only common sense to be able to have agents here on the team that can handle those two markets very effectively and efficiently. And so when I saw your resume and we sat down and we talked, I told my partner, my wife, Giovanna, I said, listen, you've got to meet this young woman. She's really just really a talented individual, and she was also taken aback as well. Um, the So how's things, are you settling down a little bit now? Are you getting a little bit more comfortable now with the Madison office up there? And I know they've been calling you. They want they want to see your face.
Yeah, I've been getting comfortable in both places, and the LRF group has helped me extremely, extremely, extremely well in settling down in both areas. So I'm truly grateful to you guys.
Well, I'll have that check sent to you later this afternoon, so don't worry. Thank you very much for that plug-in. Let me ask you something, Rich. Your background, and I don't want to really get into details. I know, but if someone ever sat down and had a time to interview you, they would be taken aback like the way I was. And I know you've had a very interesting background, and I think because of that, you know, you develop a lot of certain inner strength. Do you want to talk, I mean, a little bit about that, and how do you think that can relate to real estate and helping out your customers?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I was 18 going on 19, and in December of 2010, I left to Afghanistan, and I was a private contractor overseas. I was a linguist and cultural advisor with the Department of Defense, and I've worked with different NGOs, different NATO forces. I've worked with Rangers, Special Forces. We were one of the first females put in with the Rangers and Special Forces in a
Incredible.
CST program. So
That is
I love
that's amazing. I'm going. Go ahead.
and
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're good. So I was there for quite a long time, and I think that just to survive out there for as long as I did, I only came home once in all those years for 4 days and once for 17 days. And I truly love what I do. I don't do anything if I don't love it.
Right. I mean, so I think showing properties and open up and running contracts. I think that shouldn't be too much of a difficult task, especially
Not at
for such
all.
a young woman like yourself. What you've been through and helping the U.S. forces out there in Afghanistan. That's amazing. So I think that inner quality is going to help you, and you learn from that and you take it to the next level. Is there anything from there that, again, that you think that you can apply in real estate in terms of how that's going to make you a better agent and dealing with our customers?
Oh yeah, so many different things. First thing I learned, never take anything for granted. So every opportunity that comes my way, I fully dedicate myself. We are truly blessed to be where we are today,
Mm,
you and I both, and everybody else that is watching and that are sitting in the comfort of their own home. Um, yeah, I think it just brings a lot of grit into you, whereas any major issue that I have over here is not comparable to what I went through over there. So
mm.
no matter how bad it may seem sometimes that it can get, it's definitely not bad, and it helps humble you and brings you back to earth. It makes you more grounded, and I feel like that helps in any situation over here.
Absolutely, and also your languages too. I mean, when you speak how many about 2 dozen languages. How many languages do you speak? Because when I'm barely getting through with one. Okay, and you're over here with what? How many? What, 7 languages or something?
Yeah, if I'm mad, I'm speaking in another language. If I'm happy and I'm talking to myself, I'm talking in another language. If you're thinking to yourself in regards to work, it's a different language.
No,
So my mind is just
can you name it? Can you name a few of of the languages you
yeah,
speak?
of course. So I can get by anywhere in South and Central Asia. I speak Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, Pashto, Pakhto, Hinko. I understand Dari and Farsi completely, and I can speak broken Dari and Farsi to get my point across. But I understand the whole entire thing. So if somebody's talking to me, and what happens usually is a lot of Persians, they may understand Hindi. So if I talk back in Hindi, they can't talk in Hindi, but they'll talk to me in Farsi. So we get across with that language barrier a lot.
That's amazing talent. And how many years did it take you? Did you just develop it? While you were there, or was it here? Did you learn it here back in the
Um,
States? And you
Yeah, I guess my parents spoke 4 languages at home, so
okay?
when they would tell secrets, they would tell it in Pashto because we didn't know it. So I had to learn Pashto,
Got to be
so
careful about
nobody
that bush, though. Let me tell you something. It can get you into trouble. I'm telling you that
can.
it's crazy. What and let me ask you. So, in terms of the real estate market here, I know we talked about this. I just want to see if you can convey it to the listeners and the viewers. What type of market, in terms of you looking to concentrate more on the commercial, on the residential, maybe a little bit of both? I mean, what is your?
Both. I am ready to conquer the world. You
Mhm.
come to me, whatever your real estate needs are, I am fully dedicated and I will help you to my maximum capacity in any way, shape, and way possible to help get you where you want to be.
Right. I know our office is located up in Madison Avenue, but but your field of expertise is not only Manhattan but also Brooklyn as well. Correct? I guess that's your backyard.
Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, all of New York City. I'm not afraid to get out of that little bubble that we've created, up in New York City. Yeah, I know from New York to Virginia like the back of my hands, and then down from North Carolina to Florida.
Well, let me tell you, folks. This young lady, she drove. I mean, she drive all the way up to New York. She drove up to New York and by herself, and again, she's amazing. She enjoys, and there's no property, there's no distance too far for her to be able to service her customers. And there's one thing I tell you something, and this is, there's a lot of great professional agents in New York. There's no doubt about that, especially in Manhattan. But I have noticed a tendency that they're comfortable working in their certain niche market, and beyond that, they're not really want to go out beyond in terms of trying to service their clients. And I think down here in Florida, because spaces are so greater and wide, and we were used to driving hours, distance, to show a property, and I think that's a value that you kind of definitely bring in because you don't have a problem going from Manhattan to Staten Island and back again to service a customer or a client, and you actually physically service them. It's not something that you just delegate to another co-agent. You're actually physically there, and I've seen you at work, and you're just amazing. You handle every step of the way, and that's what the LRF Group is all about. It's that customer service. That's why our clients, they come to us time and time again.
I will hold you by the hand if you need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, in your value proposition, what do you think would you say when you're sitting down in front of a customer or a prospect? What's the value proposition that say they're thinking about selling their property? It's in either state. What is it about you, other than, of course, your personal experience that you bring to the table on a professional level?
Well, I'll give you my dedication. I will be dedicated to you throughout the whole process, and it's not an easy process. It can be very overwhelming at times, and you need to know you're not alone. We're all in this together when we're searching for a place, no matter what type of place it is, and always making sure you get the most bang for your buck. And whatever's in the best interest for you, we make it possible.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're here to work with the client, not necessarily with the transaction, though that's
Yeah,
important. I
we're
think we're
all
here to
human.
Yeah, I think we're here to build up the relationship with our customers and keep it for life, and that's why we receive so many referrals throughout the course of the year, and that's really our baseline of generating business, and also that the fact that when you come in there, you're not just, hey, I'm just one single agent. You have a team. You have a team
Exactly.
that supports you, and also you bring that into um, to the conversation, and the customer can appreciate that because they're not only hiring you, they're hiring
They're
not
hiring.
only the LRF group
Exactly.
plus the company itself. I
And I'm
agree.
truly blessed when it comes to the LRF group. I feel like that was a little cherry on top for me. BHHS seemed like a faraway dream for me at one point, and it was like this impossible, silly dream that I had. But all my dreams have come true, and the to be able to join the LRF group specifically was like the little cherry on top. Like, here you go, all that patience, everything was well worth it.
Well, thank you so much.
Making
We're
people
Yeah,
on the team. No, I really mean it. I'm not just saying that. It makes me happy to come into work every day, and it makes me happy when I look at somebody. So it's always nice to have amazing personalities to work with, and I love it.
thank you so much. We really appreciate that, and I think you're a great asset to the team, and we're really excited for all the things that you're going to be able to do. Let me ask you something. What if there is a side in terms of the professional side? And again, I always put my agents on the spot because we always have to re-examine ourselves of what we're doing here. What's a weakness that you think that you want to improve upon that will make you a better realtor tomorrow?
I feel like I may be socially awkward. Like, I'm not really about that small talk sometimes.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm overcoming it.
Right, right. I tell you, it's actually your disc profile, and we talk. And for those out there who don't, the disc profile is something that we use when we're interviewing an agent and see if they're a right fit for us and we're a right fit for them clearly. And we want to put agents where they can succeed, not fail. And I think that I'm the same way. I'm talking a little bit. I'm really not much of a talker, to be honest with you. I'm a person that when listing, I like to list properties. My working with buyers is not my strength, and that's why we have buyers agents, that dedicated just for buyers because there's a totally different, you know, um, dynamics that's interacting there, and the same thing with the seller is totally different, relationship and also again when you have a team, you know that as an agent you're just concentrated on that particular client that customer 24/7 until the property's sold or until you find them a property. And I think that's also added value that we can bring to our customers. Let me ask you something, Rimsh. What does success look to you? I mean, what is your definition of success?
Success is different for everybody. For somebody, it may mean more money, or for another person, it may mean a great career, or for somebody maybe getting married and settling down, that's success for them, you know. Success for me is if somebody thinks of me and my name comes up and they remember me in the best way possible.
Great.
That's success for me.
Awesome. Awesome. That's true. It's, you mean, and also, you've been able to do something positive and put, and,
Exactly. Impact somebody in a great way, you know. That's what, after we leave, you know, I don't want to get morbid over here, but after we leave, what do we have left behind? The memories that we've stamped on the world, you know. And I just want to be remembered in the best way possible. Like when Rimsh comes up in somebody's head, they remember me in in a good way.
I'm sure they will. And you still have many, many more decades of memories to create. So don't worry about that. Um, let's see what I wanted to ask you. And you know, we're very, very fortunate too that as part of the LRF Group that we're associated with Berkshire Hathaway. And I think, it's such a phenomenal company. It's a phenomenal. It's. I mean, the organization is amazing. Uh, what is it about Berkshire Hathaway, and do you feel that also you can bring to the table added value to the customer?
The name itself speaks for itself, you know. I don't even have to say anything on that. Berkshire Hathaway, the name speaks for itself, and it's a global company, you know. And I just recently had a customer, and he's like, "Wait, don't you guys have a company out in Spain?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, yeah, we are a global company, you know, and it's the same BHHS,
Right, right.
so
Yeah,
it's globally known."
yeah, it's very successful. I mean,
Oh,
it is a very it's a winning company, and
yeah.
people like to be associated with winners, and so that's one thing when I was looking out and making our move. I said, hey, I want to be associated with a winner, and there's no doubt that Berkshire Hathaway it's a phenomenal, successful company. Um, tell me about a work situation that you had that you were that you had to resolve, and perhaps maybe that of your personal experience that came into play that helped you getting that issue resolved on behalf of the customer or the client. You want to share some like anecdote, experience you've had recently? Uh,
Um, well, my first sale that I had with a previous company, um, and not just even that, Afghanistan as a whole, every single day, you know, when you meet some crazy people, you just have to keep on going. You know, you have to gauge the person's personality, and you have to meet them that individual on their level. You know, and you can't hold any animosity in the heart. Everybody's different. Everybody processes things differently. So we just have to get on the individual's level and communicate no matter what kind of issue it is. You just have to be open, you know, about it. And yeah, my buyer, he was under contract and they received a second offer that they liked more, but we were already under contract. And the agent, the listing agent, was also the president of the HOA, and he denied my buyer from the HOA. So that I didn't give up without a fight, you know? And it's not like I'm a fighter. I just sat down with all the parties together, HOA members, my clients at the time, and the listing agent. And we sat down and we were like, well, what was the reason of denial? And when you have proper dialogue and you understand that everybody's a mature person at the table and everybody's willing to listen to one another and you're truly trying to resolve an issue, it should never be a problem. You know, it's just about being straight up, straightforward, and saying it like it is sometimes, you know, even if somebody might not like it, but it's, you know, you can't sugarcoat stuff all the time.
Sure, sure, and I think also too what happens with our in our business and in our trade. It's not so always the buyer and the seller. Sometimes they are the agents involved, and I always say that we're only as good as the agent across the table, and so I think we need to always focus on the transaction and getting the deal closed, and put our personality aside because there's no doubt in my career I've come across more so I think it's just as many times with difficult realtors as I or as opposed to sellers and buyers. So you get. I think that if we focus on the transaction and who cares who gets the credit? That's what Giovanna,
Yeah,
says all the time. It's just, hey, you can get the credit. I mean, all you want. Let's close the deal. And that's something that we've tried to always instill on our associates here on the LRF Group, that let's focus on the task at hand. The results will come. All right. But yeah, that's awesome. That I think that you just you try to make you save the deal, and if not,
yeah.
you would have been offended, and pick up your marbles and go to the next sandbox. And listen, it's better to work with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't, and so
Exactly.
it's important. Is there anything else you want to add, Rich, before we say goodbye? Because I know you got some showings you got to do later on today. I mean, is there anything you want to say?
Um,
And
all I'm gonna say is BHHS joining them was a dream, and it became possible for me first because of Odie, who's our broker out here in the
right,
Florida office,
right.
and she facilitated my move up to New York as well. She assisted a lot in that, and you also, thank you as well. I will always be grateful to you and Giovanna. Um, and I'm just very happy for the team that I'm with and the people that are on the team. And not a lot of people can be so confident about everybody, when they're working in a certain area. But over here, I trust everybody with my eyes closed, and I'm just truly grateful. LRF Group was the little cherry on top for me. I got my cake and I got to eat it too.
Well, thank you, Rimsh. Thank you so much for taking your time this morning, and it's always a pleasure speaking with you. I know that it's going to be a phenomenal union together. I'm excited for all the possibilities that we have up in New York as well. Just added another top agent there. To our office up there. So, thank you once again, and we'll be seeing you very often, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm honored.
No problem. All right. Have a great
Thank
day. Bye bye,
you too.
everybody. Take care.
Bye.